The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Georgian Prime Minister Garibashvili met with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev on Friday at the Economic Forum of United Nations Special Program for Economics of Central Asia running in Baku, Azerbaijan. Their meeting discussed the strategic cooperation in trade, economy, energy, transport and logistics, as well as prospects for development of the Middle Corridor, a transportation road network connecting China with Europe through the South Caucasus region, through modernization of railway and expansion of ports and routes. The meeting noted Azerbaijan was one of the leading trading partners of Georgia. The construction of the East-West Highway in Georgia and Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway project were also among the discussed topics. The officials said the railway would become a part of the Europe-South Caucasus-Asia railway corridor in the future. The meeting also discussed the Black Sea submarine electricity cable project intended to connect the grids of South Caucasus and the European Union member states. The Georgian Wheat and Flour Producers Association issued a statement affirming the stable functioning of wheat and flour market in Georgia. The association clarifies that country faces no problem with wheat supply. We would like to address recent information suggesting that interruption of wheat imports from Russia could challenge the country's food security. It's crucial to emphasize that country's mills currently have a supply of wheat for consumption that extends over 2 months. This supply is replenished consistently. As a result, Georgia's food security remains fully protected. Furthermore, Georgian farmers have stored enough food wheat to cover 1 month's consumption. The wheat price in both world and regional markets are stable, and the import of wheat and flour is proceeding without disruption, the association states. The association clarifies that there are alternative markets available in case of interruption, allowing for immediate shifts with ample time to do so. In Q3 2023, unemployment rate in Georgia did not change compared to the previous year and equaled 15.6%, the National Statistics Office of Georgia reported. According to Geostat, the number of hired employees increased by 28.3 thousand persons and reached 943,000, while the number of self-employed decreased by 21.5 thousand and equaled to 422,000. In the same period, the number of unemployed increased by 1.4 thousand and equaled 252,000. In Q3 2023 compared to the corresponding period of the previous year, the unemployment rate increased in urban settlements by 0.4 percentage point, while in rural settlements it decreased by 0.6 percentage points. Traditionally, the unemployment rate is higher for men than for women. In Q3 2023 compared to the corresponding period of the previous year, this indicator decreased for women by 0.2 percentage point, while it increased by 0.1 percentage points for men and equaled 12.8 and 17.7% respectively. The labor force participation rate is higher for men than for women. In the Q3 2023, the indicator for women was 43.1% and for men 66%. The labor force participation rate for women decreased by 0.4 percentage point, while for men it increased by 0.7 percentage points compared to the corresponding period of the previous year. A government meeting was held under the chairmanship of the Georgian Prime Minister Garibashvili. The member of the cabinet discussed 9 agenda items. According to the government administration, the head of government instructed the Minister of Justice to design an amnesty project to apply to individual residents built without construction documentation on land plots owned by individuals. During the discussion on this amendment, it was pointed out that as a result of this decision, the practice of illegal home building will be eliminated on the one hand, and citizens owning individual home in village or cities without construction documentation issued for them will no longer be required to go through the complicated and costly procedure of legalization. The amnesty will apply to about 1 million citizens. In January-October 2023, the external merchandise trade of Georgia amounted to $70 million, 16.2% higher compared to the same period of 2022, Geostat reported. The exports equaled $5 million, while imports stood at $12 million. The negative trade balance was $7 million in January-October 2023, and its share in external trade turnover constituted 42.6%. In January-October 2023, the share of top trading partners by exports in total exports of Georgia amounted to 80.5%. The top partners were Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Kazakhstan. In January-October 2023, the share of top trading partners by imports in total imports of Georgia amounted to 70.8%. The top trading partners were Turkey, USA, and Russia. In January-October 2023, motor cars claimed the first place in the list of top export items, equaling $1 million with 34.5% of total exports. The exports of copper ores and concentrates totaled to $450 million, and their share in the total exports amounted to 80.8%. The exports of wine of fresh grapes occupied the third place, standing at $270 million and constituting 4.3% of total exports. Georgian Economy Minister Davitashvili on Tuesday highlighted progress made by Georgia on its path of European integration at the ministerial meeting on green energy development in Budapest. Davitashvili told the event the European Commission's recommendations for the European Council to grant the country EU membership candidate status was historic. The ministry said the official was involved in the event aimed at implementing the agreement on a strategic partnership in green energy development and transmission between the governments of Azerbaijan, Georgia, Romania, and Hungary. In his opening remarks, Davitashvili noted Georgia's integration into the EU would be accelerated even more by participation in events like ministerial and cooperating with partners. He said economic and energy integration with EU was important for his country and noted the government was actively working to utilize the domestic hydro resources. Our goal is to export electricity to EU market. We are also working on development of renewable energy projects. In addition, our goal is to support the construction of small and medium-sized stations as much as possible. We also launched the so-called price mechanisms, which will help the energy sector to become even more stable, Davitashvili said. Acting President of National Bank of Georgia, Natia, met with the new U.S. ambassador to Georgia, Robin Danigan, discussing the importance of the existing strategic partnership between the two nations and prospects for deepening the cooperation. According to the MBG press office, the U.S. remains the most important strategic partner of Georgia. Natia briefed the new U.S. ambassador on the present state of affairs and ongoing projects in Georgia's banking industry. We talked about close relations and cooperation between the National Bank and the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. Agency for International Development. The National Bank has active cooperation with USAID in various directions, and I would like to express my gratitude to the U.S. government, the U.S. Embassy, and American people for their support for the ongoing reforms in Georgia over the years. During the meeting with the U.S. ambassador, we agreed that we will actively continue coordination and cooperation in the future, Trunava noted. In Q3 2023, the number of Georgian resident travel trips abroad equaled 890,000, which was 18.2% higher compared to the data from the same period of previous year, according to the National Statistics Office of Georgia. According to the document, most of the trips, 45.4%, were made by travelers of 3150 age group. The number of outbound visits by Georgian visitors from above-mentioned number made up 647,000, which is 21.7% higher compared to the data from the same period of 2022. As of Geostat, the majority of outbound visits, 48%, were made by the visitors of 3150 age group. The number of visits made by women equal to 48.2% of total number of visits. In Q3 2023, the purpose of majority of outbound visits was shopping. The majority of outbound visits were made in Turkey and Armenia, 279,000 and 107,000 respectively. In Q3 2023, the average number of nights spent during the visits equaled to 7.2 nights, which is 13.4% higher than the figure indicator in Q3 2022. The expenditures during the visit made in Q3 2023 equal to 592.4 million lari, which is 7.1% higher compared to the data from the same period of the previous year. Average expenditure on the visit decreased by 12% compared to Q3 2022 and amounted to 950 lari.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.